went up and we stood on a precipice. And I said, now, May, where's your house? And she said, I don't know, but I know it's out there somewhere. These are the kinds of things that architects have to get involved in order to get something good.
That's my question, and I remember it exactly that way. I remember the response, and which resulted also in your building 2/3 of it below ground, right? Below grade.
Anyway, I was asked by the organizers to ask him a question, which I think this would be an appropriate time. We're here supposedly talking about civic architecture, public buildings, especially in non-dense urban environments like Maplewood and South Orange. And the question for Richard is, what's your feeling about use, scale, material of public buildings that would be an ideal situation for towns like South Orange and Maplewood?
Well, I think the most important thing is scale, rather than materiality. I think the scale is what gives Maplewood its character. I think it's drive through the center of town, and with a couple exceptions, the scale is relatively uniform. It's a human scale. You feel it's a place you want to walk through and experience. Say hello to your neighbors. And I think that the scale is much more important than materiality, and I think it's much more important than use is important as well. I think that you don't want necessarily to put a pool hall in the center of the village, but I think that probably that wouldn't happen anyway. But what is proposed here in terms of tearing down the post office building, for instance, I think that's a shame. It's a building that's
She said it's a shame to tear it down.
has another life to it. Even if the government wants to give it up. And I think that someone should come along and make use of that building to keep it where it is. If you look at the building, it was built in 1954. It's not terrific, but it's not that bad.
The post office go. It's not kitsch, by the way. It doesn't look like a classical post office. It's a modern post office reflecting the spirit. I thought I hadn't remembered how good it was until we went to see it. And I want to agree with Richard, and I think you all, you wouldn't be here tonight if you weren't concerned about these things. I used to live on Conway Court, just off Ridgewood Road, and I used to go down to the village all the time, runnings to the town hall, go with my father to the station. We drove down South Orange Avenue because I just wanted to see what it was like. And coming into the village, there's this now, on the north side of South Orange, just before the railroad station, is this housing block, which is 4 stories high, which is the wrong scale for that village. I don't know if it belongs to anybody here. Because we've been asked to do this. But I thought that the scale of the village was really important the way it was. And I think to lose that, if Maplewood Center loses that, if the village continues to lose that, I think Maplewood and South Orange are going to be lesser places. And there are places that 4-story buildings wouldn't mind. I know my grandfather built the first apartment buildings in South Orange in the 20s, and they were 4-story buildings. They were fine. They were across from the Cricklewood in Seton Hall, if you know where the Cricklewood was, down there. That was the first apartment building. It was in South Orange. So 4-story buildings are not wrong. context that they're in. And all Richard and I are saying is people like yourselves should be really concerned about how these things develop and because so quickly they can change the character of a town. And what's so nice is to drive along, you know, we came Maplewood Avenue and then went up to Wyoming Avenue and came down South Orange Avenue. How much the place still, and of course this place, it's still the same. I'm not sure that that's a good idea. By the way, I mean, I would like to see this a little bit different, but I certainly feels like I was just here yesterday. Maybe because it feels young. But I think it's important for you all, you know, in terms of, you know, what happens to the library. You know, libraries are different places today. They're centers for people to gather, not just to read books, to use computers, to people that don't have the kinds of possibilities that many people have. And it's the same with the post office. I mean, my wife and I live up in a small town in Connecticut. We use the post office all the time. We use the library all the time. And so I think these kinds of things are really important for the civic health of a town. And I think advocacy for people to be involved is really good, important. So.
The question is, if you had it to do over again, would you choose architecture and why? I said before, I feel so blessed that I decided when I was here at Columbia High School, and I wanted to go into architecture school. I feel it was just, for me, the right decision, and I've never looked back and thought I would want to do anything else. I still paint, I still do collages, I still make sculpture, but architecture is what I love to do most.
I would second Richard's with one caveat. I would never let a child of mine be an architect. We had a ban on architects in our house. I had 4 children, and it was clear. I said, no architecture. Not that any of them thought they would do that, but I feel very fortunate that I met that dorm counselor when I was in first year, and that I switched my major, and never looked back. If I had to do it all over again, whatever the ups and downs, I agree with Richard, I'd do the same thing. I am sure, Richard, and you tell me, would you go to undergraduate school at Cornell for a 5-year architecture program? Would I? Today, because the needs of architects have changed, so you have to